Ever stared at your phone wondering why her energy flips without warning, leaving you questioning everything? Look, if you have ever sat wondering what suddenly changed or why her mood swings like weather patterns, you are not broken. You are experiencing something nearly every man faces eventually. Attraction can be amazing, but emotional unpredictability can feel like navigating a map where half the landmarks disappeared. The answer is rarely panic, pursuit, or mental spirals. The real answer begins with recognizing what is happening beneath visible behavior. That is what we are unpacking today. Point 1. Confusion means pause. Let me be clear. When uncertainty shows up while dating, creating distance is often the most grounded decision a man can make. Many men believe they should increase effort, ask constant questions, offer extra affection, or analyze every signal hoping to assemble clarity, like building a machine. The issue is pressure usually produces resistance instead of answers. You begin seeking direction from someone who may not understand her own emotions yet. It is impossible to read a heart that has not interpreted itself. Sometimes genuine strength appears through slowing down, offering room, and allowing both individuals to breathe. This is not about committed marriage dynamics. Marriage involves teamwork, dialogue, and mutual responsibility. However, early dating or exploration carries different rules. You are allowed to create distance without guilt. Nothing requires you to fix uncertainty immediately. Choosing space does not mean defeat. It does not mean rejection. It does not signal fragility. Sometimes the most respectful and composed decision is simply saying you need time to think clearly. Man walking alone outdoors. People admire composure. Most importantly, your self-respect grows when you protect your mental clarity. Point 2. Distance communicates value. Many men fear stepping back will reduce attraction, yet frequently it produces the opposite reaction. Choosing distance when uncertainty appears signals confidence, independence, and emotional steadiness. You show you are comfortable existing without chasing reassurance. You show you are not attempting to control emotional outcomes. Numerous men attempt to solve uncertainty by demanding reassurance. They label it devotion, yet often it becomes fixation. Fixation appears through rereading messages repeatedly, attempting to repair her emotional state, or investing energy into someone before examining personal feelings. Have you ever noticed how exhausting that becomes? When you chase certainty desperately, you unconsciously attempt controlling the result. Even without intention, pressure builds. Creating distance dissolves tension. It allows both people to process emotions rather than react impulsively. Soft heartbeat fading. Truth emerges when breathing room exists. She cannot appreciate your presence if it never disappears. She cannot evaluate desires without solitude. She cannot intentionally choose you if your attention overwhelms her daily. Respectful distance reflects emotional awareness rather than avoidance. Point 3. Leaving requires maturity. Creating distance does not mean disappearing or playing manipulation game. A responsible man expresses himself before stepping away. Communication can remain simple and honest. You might explain feeling uncertain, wanting emotional clarity, and suggesting temporary space so both individuals can reflect before continuing conversation. That approach demonstrates stability, transparency, and leadership. A man with emotional intelligence withdraws without anger, theatrics, or blame shifting. Clear communication builds trust even when distance is necessary. Point 4. Confusion often reflects internal disconnection. Here's a difficult reality many men avoid. Extreme uncertainty regarding someone frequently means you have ignored your own emotional compass. Many men memorize her behavior patterns, emotional shifts, and mix signals perfectly. Yet when asked how they personally feel, silence it. They invest effort decoding her reactions instead of analyzing their own intentions. If both individuals lack direction, you simply mirror mutual uncertainty. Someone must pause the cycle. Often that responsibility lands on the man, because leadership frequently demands emotional courage. Stepping back allows each person to identify genuine desires independently. Point 5. Emotional rhythm differences create chaos. Generally, women experience emotional movement quickly, sometimes changing perspectives rapidly depending on internal experiences. Men often approach emotional situations through analysis and problem solving. When shifting emotions collide with heavy analysis, misunderstanding grows quickly. Have you ever tried solving feelings like solving mathematics? Distance prevents overinvestment in someone still exploring personal desires. It also prevents overwhelming her with questions, emotional expectations, or psychological weight. Space creates perspective. Pressure creates distortion. Distance exposes truth without arguments. Point 6. Identity formation requires breathing room. Most men seeking advice fall within early adulthood through mid-30s. That period involves discovering career goals, personal identity, values, ambition, and emotional maturity. Maintaining intense relationships while still defining yourself can drain psychological energy. Years spent prioritizing relationships without self-reflection frequently leave men feeling empty afterward. That explains why some men exit relationships feeling defeated, cynical, or disconnected from future love possibilities. Temporary distance can protect long-term emotional health. Sometimes stepping away temporarily preserves personal growth better than maintaining unstable dynamics. Point 7. Distance uncovers reality. Creating space accomplishes something extremely powerful. It reveals authentic outcomes. When you step back, she might move closer emotionally. She might drift naturally away. You might realize your feelings were never strong initially. Every outcome delivers clarity. Every outcome protects emotional stability. Every outcome surpasses ongoing confusion. If her behavior leaves you uncertain, calm distance often represents the strongest masculine choice. If you need additional perspective, guidance exists. Regardless, remember something important. Protecting peace demonstrates real strength. Creating distance represents control over your emotional world. It represents discipline and self-preservation. It never represents weakness, surrender, or disrespect toward anyone. Sometimes wisdom appears when you stop forcing answers and allow reality to reveal itself naturally. Understand something deeper here. Emotional clarity rarely arrives during pressure. It grows slowly when individuals feel safe exploring thoughts privately. When you allow time and distance, you give your mind opportunity to filter fantasy from reality. You notice patterns, red flags, and genuine compatibility more accurately. Patience becomes a filter, separating temporary attraction from meaningful connection. Rushing decisions often produces emotional debt later. Slow reflection builds stronger relationships because both partners choose intentionally, rather than reacting impulsively. Ask yourself honestly whether you're pursuing comfort, validation, or genuine partnership. The answer changes everything. If this message helped you think differently, tap like and support Learnify for more insights. Your growth deserves consistent, patient, and honest daily guidance always. Remember, emotional leadership is not dominance, it is self-direction. When you master personal boundaries, you influence relationship dynamics naturally. Calm decisions protect dignity for both people involved. Thank you sincerely for investing time here. Stay focused, stay balanced, remain intentional daily, always forward, and I will see you in the next lesson.